Dirty Welcome to the Dirty. Happy New Year, everybody. We did it. We made it. We survived 2024. Barely, right? Barely. Welcome to Fourth and Dirty, you guys. This is the first and only community-driven fantasy football show. I am your host, JW. You can call me Jesse. It's off season. We're not doing as much business these days, so you don't have to call me JW. Jesse's perfectly good fine. That's why it's on the cup. It's episode number 23 of season 6. We're here to cover all your week 18 action. If you are some sort of degenerate, it is January 7th. That's right. First episode of the new year. As always, you can check us out over at fourthanddirty.com. That's our central hub. It's the one and only. It's got everything you need. Our episodes, articles. If you're in our custom leagues, that's where you can see your championship info, maybe some of your historical info, community members. So all our social links are there. All of our donation buttons are there. You can email the show. If you got any questions during the offseason, show at fourthanddirty.com or Jesse at fourthanddirty.com. We're on all your social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fourth and Dirty. It's number 4, THANDDIRTY.com. Miss us on Twitch? No worries. It's okay. I get it edited, uploaded to YouTube. We're also on all your podcast players, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music. If, of course, you're feeling gracious this new year and you want to donate, you get the little donate button there. Our real goal, in all honesty, is to try and take Twitch to 50. All right, guys, we got 40 subscribers. Trying to rip it up to 50. If we get to 50, we get the affiliate status. Not only does that help us, me, but it helps you guys, because more episodes can stay up. I can upload content. You'll get extra emotes in the chat for the season. So please subscribe, follow, rate, tell your friends. We only need 10 more. All right, just 10 more. Make it over here on Twitch. Come join. Come hang out with us. We'd love to have you. And since we are back on our normal schedule, guys, this is probably going to be a real tight episode because we have no waiver wire circus. That's done. The regular season's done, guys. But we do have our last killed it and shit the bed of the season. Obviously, all your NFL news, everything you need here. But for show news, so remember, we're on them Tuesdays. So we'll be back January 14th, live here on Twitch at 8 p.m. And you think, the season's done? I'm done? No. We're here during the offseason, grinding it out, trying to get better, trying to get you the info you need to become better fantasy football players. And you know how you become better fantasy football players, guys? You learn. You learn from your mistakes. All right? See where you went wrong. See what we can do better for next season. So we'll start our top 10 review series. So we'll go back, look at our top 10 ranking. I don't know anybody else who does this. I don't know anybody else goes back and goes over their stuff and points out what they got wrong so that we can actually try to be better fantasy football analysts, better fantasy football players. So we'll go back, look at our top 10 rankings for all the positions. I'm actually going to let the chat decide, all right, which position we'll start with. We got quarterback, running back, wide receivers, and tight ends. But we'll go back, look at our top 10, compare it, ours versus the experts, and we'll play a fun game I made up called A Game That's Made Up and the Points Don't Matter. And it just kind of helps us determine who did better, the experts or me or Evan. We did get Evan's rankings this last season, so we'll go over those, see how everybody did. Let's see how the chat's doing. Tim Cruz, love to have you holding the B down. Punters, we don't cover fantasy punters. I have actually never heard of a league that has done fantasy punters. I know I would bet you. Okay, so there's this website called My I believe it's called My NFL or My Fantasy Football League or something like that. My FL, where it's like customized crazy, okay? But like the interface is butts and it's only on a website, so it's kind of like hard to like manage leagues with like large groups and stuff like that. But anyways, I bet you on that site they probably do punting. Because why not? I mean, if you want to get granular with like IDP, for those who don't know, or individual defensive players, I don't know. I mean, like Sleeper, all the mainstream platforms can do IDP. So why can't they do punters? But anyways, chat, let me know what position you want to start with our top 10 review series. Usually we start with quarterbacks. Kind of just start at the top, work our way back down. But let us know. And then after that, like I said, we're here in the offseason, so we got top 10 in review, and then we got our roasting series. So when we try to get as many champs as we can on the show. We go over our season, see what we did right, see what we did wrong. Obviously, if you want a championship, you must have done a bunch of things right? But let's figure it out. Let's go back, look at your logic, see what you did. Obviously, for us losers,
bruh,
we have much to learn. All right, but we'll go back. We'll roast each other. Me, Evan, Adam. We'll try to get the Semantics champion on, the Filthy Casuals champion on. Anybody we can. Oh, we got one vote. Vote for wide receivers. Okay, I like it. We can start with wide receivers. Wide receivers are fun. Wide receivers are always. Honestly, we've been saying it the last couple of years. Wide receivers. It's like I'm Trump over here. Like wide receivers. You want the wide receivers. That's where the fun's at. But let's get into that NFL news. That's right, there's still news! There's always news, guys. Probably one of the most important pieces of news. Hold on. It's firing day! Let's go! All these bum coaches
eventually
getting fired, getting dumped. Get out. Step into our office. Use my F-bomb here early. Get the fuck out of our office. This is usually the week. Usually it's the Monday. So yesterday, Black Monday in the NFL. All the coaches get fired, being a bunch of bums, and rightfully so. So started off, Patriots have fired their head coach Gerard Mayo.
Boo! Boo when you taste a burger. Boo!
Yeah, it was pretty rough season for the Pats. You were also an idiot and gave up the number 1 draft pick. So that's pretty stupid. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe you deserve it.
Boo when you taste a burger. Boo!
Jaguars have fired head coach Doug Peterson. That's right. Doug Peterson is out after a few seasons of I don't know. What do you think? Like bottom mediocre, not like not like top mediocre, but bottom mediocre. Not good stuff. Not those glory Eagles days, that's for sure. Raiders have fired head coach Antonio Pierce.
Boo! Boo when you taste a burger. Boo!
Out 1 season after being the interim head coach last season. There's a lot of contention in the front office and the locker room, from what I gathered. He didn't make himself any friends, and so when you have a rough season and you don't make yourself any friends, well, guess what's going to happen? Gonna get fired. So the Raiders back in the market for another head coach. We do also track some of the other positions like offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and one that's not as important but still kind of useful is GMs. And the reason we track these things is that does have an impact on fantasy. The coaches are the ones who call the plays, which obviously has direct outcome over what happens with the fantasy players. So knowing who these guys are, what their tendencies are. Obviously, we saw for the Patriots, terrible offense. The Jaguars had some interesting offense this season, with Brian Thomas Jr., but not without much else. So that's kind of sort of where it falls off. And same for like the Raiders, kind of just butts. And you had the whole contention with Devontae Adams, and then trading him mid-season. And I don't blame any of them, but As for offensive coordinators, the Seahawks have fired offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb.
Boo! Boo when you taste a burger. Boo!
Get him out. Yeah, the Seahawks had a pretty terrible offense this season. Geno Smith sort of like regressed, but we kind of saw that coming. He wasn't like the greatest QB ever. But, we did see a lot of success with the running back core, Kenneth Walker and/or Zach Charbonnet, whomever ended up being positioned. Jackson Smith and Jigba stepped up nicely this season. But, they also had a bunch of injuries. So, who knows if they played into that. Browns have fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. Because that's the problem.
Boo when you taste a burger. Boo!
Yeah, that's the problem, guys. The offensive coordinator. Well, somebody's got to take the axe, right? Oh, God. Maybe it has something to do with that terrible quarterback Deshaun Watson. I don't know. But they're keeping Stefanski, for what I heard. So it's just moving the OC. Same for the Seahawks. They're gonna give him another one more. All right, just like, but that OC's got to go. All right. Speaking of, the Colts have fired defensive coordinator Gus Bradley.
Boo when you taste a burger. Boo!
Yep. Once again, that's like the only problem. I'm a Colts. For those who don't know, I'm a Colts fan. Since we need to set up, I don't have my got a little Colts. Maybe we could add him here. There you go. New addition to the set. Boom. There you go. Live. Colts are drive me absolutely insane. So we fire the defensive coordinator, and he does have a terrible scheme. He's like where he's doing like this old school like zone crap, which just does not work in modern day NFL. You gotta have some guys who can play some man, and then mix it up. But they're keeping everybody else. They've already said Shane Steichen's coming back, which I don't think he's really the problem. But the general manager, Chris Ballard, he's definitely part of the problem, and it's definitely 1,000% the owner, Jim Irsay. The Colts are just the Cowboys of the AFC, okay? And by that I mean the Cowboys have Jerry Jones. We have Jim Irsay, two incredibly old dinosaurs who will not let their GMs just like run the team, who think they know better. And this is why we are garbage tier. We are like that middle, that nice little like top mediocre, which is almost more. Oh God! It makes me mad because, we think you you get your hopes up, right? Because you think the team has a chance, and then no. So you tell a Colts fan, I'm getting like passionate. I'm like, oh, you make me so angry, girl. Bears have fired defensive coordinator Lou. No, that's not Bears. That's supposed to be Bengals. The Bengals have fired defensive coordinator Lou Anamaru. He's been there for 6 seasons. Interestingly, the Bengals had a decent defense, at least fantasy wise, that last couple of seasons, but apparently not good enough for
Boo when you taste a burger. Boo!
And it was a problem for this season. They did get blown out in a lot of games. Especially when you had such a top tier offense with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, a triple crown champion, and you guys couldn't make the playoffs. So I'm doing the Trump again. And then finally, Titans have fired general manager Ran Carthen. The Titans butts. All right, butts. They do have the number 1 overall pick.
Boo when you taste a burger. Boo.
Like we talked about, the Patriots are stupid, and that's why Gerard Mayo probably got fired. Oh, God. But pay attention this offseason because and eventually these teams will fill these positions, and then we'll have we'll start to develop an idea about what these coaches are going to do, especially if we kind of track where they came from. So you kind of have a history, kind of like, if they came from the Sean McVay area, you're like, all right, well, it might be like this. Or they came from, the Andy Reid tree, then they might kind of play like this. And then finally, our last piece of NFL news, the Vikings decide QB Daniel Jones. Yeah! Sam Darnold played butts in that Week 18 game, so I don't know, getting a backup for that playoff run. Who knows? Maybe Daniel Jones might be having to make a start here. Of course, we couldn't have our news segment without our injuries.
No! I'm falling, and I can't get up.
Please, no! 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 No!
Now, for those who, at this point, our fantasy football season has sort of ended because it ends with the regular season. But there are other fantasy football opportunities. There's playoff fantasy football. There's still daily fantasy football. That's why we're still here, because obviously, you gotta mainline that stuff, baby. So, depending on if you're playing any of that stuff, maybe you're in a dynasty league. This is the injury news is always useful information to have, just to kind of keep tabs of. It's a new year, so let's start with the good news. Running back David Montgomery coming back for the divisional round. That is absolutely fantastic for the Lions. They also clinched the number 1 seed, so that gives them that bye, which then gives David Montgomery that chance to rest, let them light it up. Ooh. I don't know. I think we'll talk about the playoffs here in a second. We're gonna do a little mini bracket with everybody. All right, talk it out. But I think whoever got that number 1 seed from the Vikings Lions, I think is gonna make the championship for the NFC, just because you get that bye week. You only have to play 2 games, and then it also it reseeds back to the lowest seed. So it should, in theory, you should have, bye. Easy game if like a crazy wild card thing happens, and then boom, then you're playing the NFC Championship game. So you got to win like one really, could be a tough game, depending on who it is, or it could be the Vikings again, and you blow them out, and bingo bango bongo, you're in, baby. I'm not saying you're winning the Super Bowl. I'm just saying we'll get to that. But I'm just saying it's super. I think it super helpful. But for our bad news, for the Packers, QB Jordan Love left the game with an elbow injury. I heard it was mostly precautionary because, they made the playoffs. They got I believe, the 7 seed. We'll double check here in a second. But they also lost wide receiver Christian Watson. Has probably torn his ACL, so he's probably done for the season. And considering it's here in like early January, he probably, you're talking like 6 to 9 months, depending on the individual. Usually it's going to be longer. So we're talking like September, maybe week 1 if you're lucky, Christian Watson owners, maybe. Wide receiver Zay Flowers left the game with a leg injury. It's not good for the Ravens. Maybe that gives old Deontay Johnson the chance to finally step up. Probably not. I think Rashad Bateman's been playing fairly well for the Ravens lately. Quarterback Geno Smith has a hip injury. Seattle ended up getting bounced from the playoffs, so that didn't really matter too much. Running back Isaiah Guerrero for the 49ers left the game with a knee/ankle injury. I guess both? One or the other? Is it like somewhere in between, like this region, knee/ankle? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on television. Running back Blake Corum broke his forearm. This is the Rams rookie running back. He's obviously out for the season. Rams have been like resting their starters for week 18. Titans tight end Chiga Okonkwo left the game with an abdomen injury, and then like a follow up from last episode. We had Monday Night Patrol. We had the Lions 49ers. QB Brock Purdy hurt his elbow in that game and ended up missing week 18 for anyone who, might own Brock Purdy. And then finally, for our news segment, of course, we have to have rumors, bad news, other news, anything that strikes my fancy. I'm gonna try. I want for next season. I'm gonna try to convince Derek the Anti-Hero to produce rumors and conspiracies and stuff like that for us, or maybe just hot gossip. That he likes this trash TV. So I don't know. Speaking of, wide receiver Tyreek Hill wants out of Miami. That's right. I don't know if everyone saw it after the game. He was like, "I'm done. That's it." And I'm not even exaggerating. Like I'm basically he's like, "I'm done." Like on camera to the news, like I'm talking to you guys right now. Which is just absolutely wild. You don't do that. And in fact, the team had to go go and meet with him, and I was like, dude, you can't be doing that on national television. So we've already started our drama, and the playoffs are right there. We haven't even finished the season yet. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I don't know. Maybe no Tyreek Hill in Miami. Maybe he wants back in Kansas City. He's hating out on missing all the rings. I was like, maybe the money wasn't worth it. I don't know. I mean, he did get all them kids. So
Got him!
maybe that won't work out for him. All right, guys. So before we get into our killed it and shit the bed, let's take a look at the old NFL playoffs. All right, we finally got our final seeding. You know, it took all the way up until the last last game of the regular season, but we finally got our bracket. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions taking the 1 seed. So those guys got a bye. All right, let's see here, bye. 2 seed, and the AFC goes to Buffalo. Then we got Baltimore, Houston winning the AFC South, and the Chargers, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Denver Broncos sliding in for the AFC. Coming over here for the NFC, we got the like we said, Detroit Lions, but the Green. Why did they mix up the two? They got them all backwards. Like, what is up with them? Anyways, Philadelphia with the 2 seed, followed by Tampa Bay with the 3 seed. I know that's right, Tampa Bay 3 seed, baby. It climbed up over the Rams, coming in at 4. Minnesota at 5. Washington Commanders at 6. The rookie bringing them to the promised land, and then the Green Bay Packers at 7. No, see, I was right. I knew it. Packers were at 7. So there you go, guys. That is our NFL playoff bracket. It's a real bummer because the NFL used to actually host a NFL playoff challenge thing, and we used to do it. We kept growing the league. It was getting pretty big. It was like a couple hundred people, and then they just stopped doing it. I'm not aware of anywhere else that does you pick fantasy players and you set a lineup, right, and you get multipliers. There's fantasy brackets. I don't know if anyone knows of a site and you guys want to play fantasy playoff football. Let me know. Obviously, but I mainline that stuff, so happy to host anything if anyone knows of anything. But right now, we just gotta just cover the playoffs, see what happens. I think looking at starting with the AFC side, I'm actually in this since we're going to talk about this top game. I actually think the Chargers will beat Houston. Houston has been on a backslide for weeks now. The Chargers are actually playing pretty well. J.K. Dobbins is healthy. Matt McConkey's healthy. Herbert's on our killed it list for players this week. So I think the Chargers will win that game, and I guess what you would call a upset. But and moving down to the 3 versus 6 seed, I think Baltimore will just stomp all over Pitt. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are absolutely on fire, so no reason to stop there. Buffalo versus Denver. I mean, Denver having to go into Buffalo when you could be playing in feet of snow and the players have to snow it out always gives them the advantage. I know Denver's been playing pretty hot, but the only thing to worry about would be Buffalo's defense and it turning into a shootout where they end up losing like we saw with the Rams or something crazy like that. But I wouldn't anticipate that. Over on the NFC side, Philadelphia versus Green Bay. I mean, that was the season openers, guys, in Sao Paulo. Absolutely cool game to see in a unique location. But I think the Eagles will take it so long as Jalen Hurts is out of the concussion protocol. If he's not, then you got a problem. The next up, I would I would suspect Tampa Bay should be able to beat Washington, but I could also one's the tougher one, right? That's the tougher one, and then obviously Minnesota beating up on the Rams should be easy breezy. I'm not really sure Tampa. I want Tampa to win. Yeah, that's a forward team. We gotta root for our boys, but Washington been playing pretty well. But Tampa, we have a suspect defense there, so it could turn into a scoring fest, which should be fun. Obviously, Mike Evans, congratulations, he's getting his 11th. As long as our home league has existed, Mike Evans has had 1,000 yards receiving. That's crazy. Oh, blew my goddamn mind. Bruh. That's crazy. I never even put that together before. Ultimately, I think we're gonna have a Detroit, Kansas City Super Bowl. With unfortunately Kansas City winning. I don't see the evil empire being stopped anytime soon. You know, all the conspiracy theorists think the NFL's on their side. They also have a pretty decent defense. They've been here a lot before. I don't. You know, this was like when Cincinnati went, and you're like, oh no, just to get back down there. I don't see it happening for Detroit. It ain't this season, but it's gonna be going for a great storyline. You know, they got like the Kansas City Chiefs are like the new evil empire, like the Pats were, and then you got like the Lions coming in trying to overthrow them, and then failing. Oh hell, the Chiefs! All right, guys. Well, let's get into our killed it and shit the bed. Of course, killed it is brought to you by the one and only Tim Cruise Travel Agency. Do yourself a favor, head over to timcruise.com. I don't know about y'all, but it's cold as hell here, and at least in the Fort Dirty Studios, it was balls ass cold today. If you live somewhere north, it was probably even freaking colder. But come check out timcruise.com. Look, get yourself go on a cruise. Go somewhere sunny where it's warm and nice. I don't know. Maybe do a relaxer cruise. If you're gonna suffer with the cold, at least have some fun. Tim and his team are absolutely great. Fill out the travel form. Tim and his team will contact you. They also do, guys, they do Disney vacations, Universal tickets. They do everything. Tim and his team are absolutely amazing. Tim, thank you so much for sponsoring our Killed It segment. Always love you, having you on the team. We appreciate you, boo-boo. So this is a little, so when we talk about Killed It and shit the bed this week, obviously, if you played in a Week 18 championship, I would like to know. I don't know if anyone in the chat, in your other leagues, you play in a Week 18 championship. Over here in Fourth and Dirty World, we do not. All right, we are civilized, high-minded folks, and we have our championships on Week 17 when teams are not sitting their starters because of the playoffs, like we saw in Week 18. So we can just, I guess where I'm getting at is because last week we were on a Monday, we had to do Monday Night Patrol, which means we didn't have actual like finalized Killed It and shit the bed. So we had a lot of championships up in the air. So I think it's high time we officially announce who killed it and shit the bed for each individual league. So let's start, of course, with the Semantics Listener League. If you actually head over to fourthanddirty.com and you head to leagues, you can actually go to the or fourthanddirty.com/semantics. Or if you go to the leagues here, boop, boop, right there. But Tommy, congratulations. Stupid website. Why are you like this? There he goes. 158.92 points. Taking home the Season 6 championship. Snatching it off of Trav's hands. Those are, where's Travi in his belt? Right over here. Boop. Snatching that title belt off of Travi's hands. Again, bravo, Trav. Absolutely fantastic defense of that title. Bringing it all the way back to the championship. And then only losing by, what is that? 14-ish points. Let's call it 14 for the sake of argument. 14 points right there from maintain back to back. That's been crazy. But congratulations, Tommy, for taking home the top spot. We will try to get you that championship belt ASAP. I believe we've talked about it. We talked about it in the little chitty chats. Tommy, maybe we'll schedule here for February around the Semantics anniversary date. Then we do the party over at Rock Pit. So I don't know, maybe we can do we'll do the media tour for you. I don't know, that's always fun. You win a championship, go on a little media tour. But we'll try to get Tommy on the show. Obviously, do a little interview, a little roast. We'll see what we can put together. But coming in second would be Trav, and then third, Derek, the anti-hero from You Heard About This One. So we had two hosts once again in the championship. If it's not right, I don't know what else to tell you. But I told you all I would keep track. And I know it's not on the website, but we've talked about it. If you didn't make the playoffs, I was still tracking final placements, right? So these these bottom 6 in each of the 2 leagues. So I tracked it all down, and I, in fact, do have a final ranking for everybody. So let's we got some time. We can read that off because we got to get to our shit the bed for the Semantics Listener League, right? So Tommy, Trav, Derek taking our 1, 2, 3. Congratulations again, Tommy, on winning the Season 6 Semantics Listener League Championship. Hold on. I need to do this.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun
forgot
to
Tommy,
get
I'm sorry.
respect up on the street. Under the sun, the bastard son
We gotta
will
celebrate.
go to feed himself and family.
Also won a bunch of money too, which is always nice. But doing our tracking, so these guys here, week 16, boop. They just missed the championship round. Lee, Norm, and Ryan playing in a triple threat. That ended up placing with Norm, Lee, and then Ryan. Getting 4, 5, and 6. So that was Norm, Lee, Ryan, and then 7, 8, 9. To 7th place, Stevie. 8th place, Sal. 9th place, Jason. 10th place, Josh, our season 2 champion. So that rounds out our top 10. Still top half over here. I'm just trying to salvage my season because things did not go right, guys. But it's a learning opportunity. Coming in 11th place, boop. The old 4th and dirty team over here. We make the playoffs every year and then we get bounced. So I don't know. I've been trying to figure out what we're doing wrong and why we make it there but then get bounced. I don't know. Maybe we're not constructing the right team. I don't know. For the format, that's the thing. You got to know your league. That's one of them rules. Coming in 12th place, our own Atom. So for the whole OG 4th and dirty crew, 11, 12, rounding out that top half for the Semantics Listener League, and then. It's very interesting. Coming in 13th place, we got J Van Beers. Barely made it in. I had to salvage his payment for him to get a 13th place. Ridiculous. No, just kidding. King J, love you. Love having you on. I'm not exaggerating. He posts these videos of him chugging beers. Spectacular. Ain't none of y'all got shit on him for that. Coming in 14th place, Sean, our season 4 champion. The Bandalorian, Christine at 15, Heather at 16, Tracy Claus, a.k.a. Mike, at 17th place, 18th, Chase, our world-class shit one of our world-class shit talkers over there, 19th, Kate, rough season, Kate, yep, one of our OG Ladies Leagues champion. For those who on the board, that's that koozie that one of the girls made for us. No, it was Jess. Yeah, Jess made that for us for the Semantic the Ladies League. We could do it again. We just I think the interest fell off. We gotta get a solid 12 ladies if we're gonna do that. All right. Coming in 20th place. Hey, Tim Cruz, you did it, buddy.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect.
Not last, baby. Not last. No Sacko. Let's go, Tim. And on top of it, you placed higher than Carl, who came in at 21st place. So you got your revenge, Tim. You got your revenge. Love to see it. Tim, we'd love to have you on, see what went on with your season, see what we can learn, get better. If not, we can always roast you virtually. And then for our last 3 plays, our bottom 3. Need a drum roll. 22nd place, Kenny. That's one of our newbies. 23rd place, Adam Mason, our season 1 champion. All the way down there. And then finally, our top bed shitter for the Semantics Listener League, Steve McGutney. Congratulations. He was also a late addition after somebody bowed out. Not good. Finished 24th. I don't know. Derek the Anti-Hero says we should have 2 leagues. We should have like EPL style. But then that kind of messes with the triple threat champion wrestling thing we got going on over here. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that for 4th and dirty. But so Steve McGutney taking home the shit the bed this week, and then Tommy, our top, killed it.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to
For the Semantics Listener League. All right, moving on over to let's move over to the Filthy Casuals League. I could actually show you this one on the old computadora if we go over to Sleeper. Dun, 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 dun. Congratulations, Glenn, taking down Evan, 143.42 points, taking home that championship.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street. Under the sun, the bastard son will pop the clock to feed himself and family. By any means, your enemies.
We were trying to have Glenn on during the season, but this is even better because now he's a champion. So we have even more. I can't wait to have Glenn on, guys. This is perfect. Like this couldn't write itself better, and Glenn knows exactly what I'm talking about. We took down Evan, the one and only OG. Kamish. He started this insanity with this QB stuff, but look, Jared Goff, Saquon Barkley, Rico Dowdle, Chase Worthy, Kittle, London Gonzalez, and the Vegas defense. He homered it. He homered it for the final week, and it paid off for That's a hell of a starting lineup there. He also had Justin Herbert, Tyron Tracy, Dobbs, Jawan Johnson, and the Eagles. Oh man, Glenn was locked and loaded. So congratulations, Glenn, for winning our Season 4 Listener League Championship. He obviously got some nice, sweet monies. I would love to get a belt or a trophy or something. But some of the guys live out of state, so it opens this interesting dynamic of how do we properly celebrate these championships, But thanks to the power of Sleeper, we can also look at our shit the bed champion, Scuba Jake, taking the top spot, losing to John. Oh, good job, John. You just first guy out. Scuba Jake, congratulations on taking the loser spot. Loser. Guess what, guy? I told you I got out of it. Look, I got out of over here. I did lose over there. Not a good season. Another one we can pick apart. I already know. This one's an easy one to pick out. Anthony Richardson. Boom. That's an easy. Just brought me to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. Barely dragging my way out. But thank you, everybody who played in the Filthy Casuals League. That's a love. It's just a wild league. A lot of wild people. Oh God. And the QB stuff is just so insane, guys. It's absolutely crazy. Moving on to the home league, the OGs holding it down. I can show you some here, and you can also actually go over to 4thanddirty.com, and if you head up to leagues and hit Tabutsova, this is the home. This is our season 11 championship. Congratulations, Andy, beating me.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street. Under the sun, the bastard son will pop the clock to feed himself and family. By any means, your enemies.
His win is my loss, unfortunately. My team completely shit the bed. It was probably a perfectly winnable matchup if we look over here at Sleeper. So Andy's winning almost a Super Bowl, but his Tabutsova winning championship team. Russell Wilson, Kyrie Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, George Kittle. I see some commonality here. Keenan Allen, Bates, and the Minnesota defense. He also had Stafford, Dwaddle, Worthy, Harrison. Also a lot of overlap. But fortunately, look at my bed-shitting team. James Conner getting knocked out with an injury. Fucking Justin Jefferson, only 13 points. I know that seems ridiculous, but look. Zay Flowers with 4. McLaurin shitting the bed. Oh, Fairbairner shitting the bed. Damn, bro. And look, I probably could have if I had known. If only I'd known. Ugh, McMillan. Flowers, you bastard. Well, there you go. I placed second. Not happy about it. Not happy about it. I know what I did wrong with this one. Setting the damn lineups. It's always a tough one when you're like, I had all the pieces. Look, I had Justin Jefferson and Terry McLaurin, and they failed me at the end. So what? I don't know. I don't know what else you could do. I had two I actually had 3 top 10 wide receivers. I had Josh Allen. I'm talking more about me, but more congratulations to Andy. But I'm talking about me because I'm sour.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street. Under the sun, the bastard son will pop the clock to feed himself and family. By any means, your enemies.
Andy does join me as the only 2-time champions in this league. I was trying to go for 3. I was like, I'm going to turn into the Kansas City Chiefs over here, but nope. Dookie in my pants. Speaking of Dookie in their pants, we do actually have to go to 4th-and-30.com if you're on the Tabutzova page. You scroll down to the shaft. This is the fun part. You can track the Sacko Bowl. Congratulations, Steven! Back-to-back Sacko champion. Let's go.
Bruh. Catch me outside. How about that?
No, God! No, God,
This
please,
is
no!
almost
no!
verbatim what he's been saying.
No! No!
You can read about it here, but he has to now do an embarrassing dance, which is now going to have to be in public because it's back-to-back. It escalates in this league. He's also our second person with back-to-back Sackos. Now, last time this happened, Rico, you won the championship. So maybe Steven's finally going to bounce back this year, which means I got to wait another. Oh, God damn it. Is that how it works, fantasy gods? Torture me? Oops. I went backwards. I want to go forwards. Nope. It's all messed up. Back to Tabutzova. But Steven also has a Golden Asses trophy that he has to play prominently at his house. He's got a license plate holder that says, I suck at fantasy football. That's been on his car already for a year. Let's add another one, baby! Got him!
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you.
Oh, your team deserted you for sure. Theron's super happy to get out of the Sacko. I know he is. Probably, I think as Evan said when he was talking about CJ, the happiest he'll ever be in his life. Thank you everyone in the Striped League, the home league, holding it down per usual. We've got a great group of guys. I mean, these guys are the ones that, help to get the show up and going, give us something to talk about. And then we added all the other leagues, and then they still put up with our nonsense. So, love you boys. Obviously, we're going to be back for season 12. They've already been talking about it. Like, where are we going for the draft party? So, Tim, we're probably going to be hitting you up because these guys travel. We travel for this league. It's a great league. But let's get into killed it and shit the bed for the players. Now, here's what's super annoying because Sleeper does not give me week 18 data because we don't play week 18 around y'all. I had to go to our one and only good friends over at fantasypros.com. I still guys for like data and stuff. I still always recommend Fantasy Pros. They're the best. We the best. Let's take a look at our killed it for the quarterbacks for week number 18. Coming at the first place, Bryce Young, Calvin Pan scorching it. What we got here? 251 and 3 through the air and another 24 on the ground. With two rushing touchdowns. That's disgusting, bro. Called it. Then we have Bo Nix, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, and Geno Smith rounding out our top 5. I kind of called the some of these waiver wire circus guys over here. Just gotta look at those matchups, guys. Bo Nix, Herbert going into the playoffs, Kyler Murray, Geno Smith falling apart, done with for the season. Oof, rough stuff. Let's see. Herbert has got Houston next, and Denver, and Bo Nix has got Buffalo. So this could be, some tough matchups. But let's take a look at our bed shitting. QBs over here. Now this one again, it's kind of harder. We're gonna have to do some scrolling. So for QBs, we're looking at least our over here in 4th-and-30 land. We're like 15 points or less. So if you're not giving me 50 points, you have really screwed me as a QB. If we're around this area, we got Joe Burrow shit in the bed over here for us. which is crazy, which is absolutely just mind-boggling to think about. But you know, they got the W, so that's really all they were looking to do, and not get him hurt. But we also had the likes of like Jared Goff, Russell Wilson shit in the bed over here with 11 points. I mean, Joe Flacco with 14. It's like right there. You know, it's like, man, like, bro, come on. Like, you could have done better for me, but didn't. Some of the more rough ones. Sam Darnold, that's like back-to-back weeks, you know, for the Minnesota Viking QB. You know, if we look at his game logs over here. Oof. Oof and scoof. Not good, baby. Yeah, that's pretty good, fan. 25 points last week. All right, so he still did it. You know, they just didn't get the dub in week 17 against Green Bay. Well, they did get the dub against Green Bay. But we also had Jaden Daniels shit in the bed from a fantasy perspective. I know they got like the 4.2 points against Dallas. Like that's obscenely bad. I think this is why we don't play Week 18 championships, guys. You got starters, you got all kinds of like weird crap where like maybe he played only like 2 quarters. Ridiculous. Yeah, snap percentage 45%. So they pulled him. They pulled him out. Like that would have ruined your fantasy season. That's why we don't do this stuff. Shit the bed. You're gross. You disgust me. Moving on to our running backs. We switch over here, taking the top spot. Jahmyr Gibbs, absolutely destroying these last 4 weeks. Honestly, like if you made it to the fantasy playoffs, this guy probably brought you a championship. Absolutely killed it this season. Finishing 41 points against Minnesota, 139-3 on the ground, and another 5 for 31 through the air. Just disgusting, man. And think how many more points he could have had if David Montgomery didn't vulture or steal also an RB2's worth of, you know, fantasy value, which is just mind-boggling to think about. Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, and Damian Pierce rounding out our top 5. Oh, I don't want standard. I want half, baby. What are we doing over here? Miles Sanders, Jonathan Taylor rounding out our top 5. Oh, almost forgot. Whew, got scared. It's like a whole bunch of big names, and then Miles Sanders for Carolina. You know, just like what the hell happened here? Taylor, such a wasted fantasy season. You know, really popped. If you made if you made the playoffs, week 15 was brutal. I don't know how, given this track record. That's gonna be a big one. We're gonna have to pick apart, guys. A big one. But Derrick Henry moving on in the playoffs. I expect he'll do very well against Pittsburgh. Same for Jahmyr Gibbs whenever he comes back week number 2. Taking a look at our bed shitting running backs. You know, for when we're looking at running backs or wide receivers, it's like 10 points or less. You know, it's kind of like you really let me down. J.K. Dobbins, you know, coming back last week and then kind of like, you know, blowing it this week. Gross, 9 points. Don't like it. Tony Pollard, 6.2 points. We also had James Cook with 8.8 points. You know, they likely this is another of those scenarios. He played 22% of snaps. Yeah, this is ridiculous. You know, they get him out there for a little bit. Oh, we got the dub, and then pull him, which then ruins your fantasy season. Again, like this is why we don't play Week 18 championships. It's like absolute degeneracy. Absolute degeneracy playing in Week 18. Because of stuff like this. Like, how many... We knew ahead of time a couple teams were going to bench their guys, but then how many got benched in the middle of the thing? Exactly. That's my point. Joe Mixon, shit in the... Absolute... Oh, I can't wait to roast this... Oh...
Boo!
Boo!
Boo when you taste the burger, boo!
Boo, Joe Mixon. Boo this man. Ruined you. Disgust me. We also have the likes of Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler. That's right, Austin Eckler's back, guys. Same thing, you know, they pulled him halfway through the game. Here's Brian Robinson Jr. Only played in 40% of snaps, 2.1 points against Dallas. Absolutely ruining your fantasy season. Moving along to our wide receivers. Drake London taking the top spot. 10 for 187 and 2. He's kind of really been okay, maybe him and Phoenix Jr. might be all right. We'll have to see what happens with next season. Ridiculous. 35. Hold on, is this PPR? Okay, just gotta check. Quentin Johnston, Jacoby Myers, Kayshon Boutte, and Jamar Chase rounding out our top 5. Crazy to think Burrow shut the bed, but Chase ended up and killed it with a paltry 10 for 96 and 1. Jamar Chase, the Cripple Crown champion. I believe the 5th wide receiver ever to do it. I mean, if you took that gamble on him, probably on a lot of fantasy championship rosters. We'll have to go back and look at our rankings, see where old 4th and 30 put him. I think I had him at like 2 or 3, something like that. Because everybody was thinking old JJ. Old JJ was going to take the top spot. And this is just classic Week 18 nonsense. Quentin Johnson, Jacoby, Kayshon Boutte, Marvin Mims, Dortch. TJ Moore finally showed up. Like ridiculous. But let's go look at our bed-shitting wide receivers for Week 13. Same sort of thing, 10 points or less is considered a bed shit around here. See the likes of like Jerry Jeudy. You got that amazing high and then absolute crash out. Calvin Ridley with 8.8 points. Especially because you're like, Houston's all right. Like T. Higgins. Oof. Talk about, helped you get to the championship if you play Week 17, but then absolutely bombed you out in Week 18. Like, that's disgusting. And again, they put 68% of snaps. That's actually a fairly normal workload. Garrett Wilson. Oh, what a ruined season. I think we're gonna look back and a lot of it's gonna be Devontae Adams related. If Adams wasn't there, he probably would have kept getting hyper targeted by Rodgers. Who knows if Rodgers will be back next season? Jalen Waddle with Miami, along with old Tyreek Hill. He's further down here. It was pretty gross. I see why he was out. 3 points. I mean, ugh. Well, another lost season too. Gross. We also could talk about the likes of, where did he go? Justin Jefferson, shit in the bed. Week 18, 6.9. I would, for Justin Jefferson, 13.2 points is a bit shit the bed. Like,
bruh.
What the hell, man? Another great season from Justin Jefferson. Love to see it. Hopefully he didn't play in Week 18. And then the final one, where did he go? Jackson Smith and Jigba. Scrolling. The Seattle offense fell apart. What happened? I mean, look at this. 17 and 18 just while playing. 95% of snaps is the full game, guys. All right? That's the whole damn game. So that's very disappointing. I could see why Seattle fired their offensive coordinator. You got a talented wide receiver, several talented wide receivers, blowing it. And finally, guys, let's wrap up our Killed It. This is it. Our final Killed It and Shit the Bed for season number 6 with the old tight ends, the dookie butts. We all love to hate them, but we all need them on our rosters. Pat Fryermuth taking the top killer spot. Called it. Ended up being a top 10 tight end by the time the season was done. And it was really only until Russell Wilson took over. But love that. Love that. 8 for 85 and a tutty against old Cincinnati. That's good. That's a good one. Trey McBride, Jordan Atkins, Noah Fant, and Jonnu Smith rounding out our top 5. Trey McBride. Back-to-back touchdown weeks, baby.
I am the one, the way you.
Finally, only took the whole goddamn season, guys. That's crazy. Absolute bonkers. I think he will be a top prospect next season, especially because we saw the little bit of falling off with Mark Andrews. Kittle getting a little bit older. I'm surprised Kittle survived the whole season. That might be a first. Yeah, that might be a first. But looking at our bed-shitting tight ends, of course, I just literally mentioned his name. George Kittle, shit in the bed. Gross. 3.7 points. I mean, he only played in 29% of snaps. I don't blame him. I mean, like, they got nothing to play for. Pull him out. You don't want to bust him. But again, if you started him, you made it all the way to Week 18. You're like, I'm there, baby. He took me to the promised land. And then Week 18, ruined your season. T.J. Hawkinson was another one, and you're thinking, oh, later in the season, I have the option to kind of get him out there. For tight ends, we're looking at like 8 points or less. That's kind of like a gross, week. Tucker Kraft, also on our shit the bed list with 5.6 points. Dalton Schultz, 4.4 points. What an absolutely lost season. Here's George. We talked about George Kittle. No, I was looking for Stinky Kyle Pitts also on our list. Where did all that? There he is. T.J. Hawkinson, 1.9 points. Oof. Just never really. Never really just converted the targets. He's getting 7, 5, 6, 8. That's great, but then you just weren't really doing much with them. 2 for 8. That's horrible. That's terrible. That's why you're on the shit to bed list. God, that disgusts me. Disgusts me. Thank God. We don't talk about. Hey, no, we do. That's the whole point. In our top 10 in review, guys. Well, there you go. That wraps up our Killed It and Shit the Bed for season number 6. Thank you, Tim, for sponsoring our Killed It thing. Tim will be, sponsor in top 10 review for a few more episodes here. Love to have him. Thank you guys, as always, for sticking with us. We will be here through the offseason. Like I said, we got top 10 in review next week, starting with nobody else has voted, so guess what? We're getting wide receivers, baby. So we'll be back next week with top 10 wide receivers. So, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. What the hell happened to Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, all these top wide receivers? Everyone, everyone thought that it was all going to pop off. But so we'll be back next week, the 14th. We'll be here we'll be here all season, baby. All season. You can find us, as always, over at the home field advantage, baby, 4th-and-30.com. It's the central hub. All our episodes, article, our leagues. You want to see who the champions were, community. You can email the show if you got any questions during the off season. Show at 4th-and-30.com or Jesse at 4th-and-30.com. That's right. We don't do business when you email me if you got questions. We're on all the social medias at 4th-and-30, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you miss us here live on Twitch, no stress. I get this bad boy uploaded to YouTube. We're also on all your podcast players, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, or anywhere you love them RSS feeds. If you're feeling maybe gracious, you could donate to us. Check out all of our old content there. 4th-and-30.com, baby. We'll be, like I said, we're here. Look, every Tuesday during the NFL season. We'll be back next week on the 14th for your top 10 review. See you next